This is stuff.
Yeah, man, let's get to these questions real quick.
Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
I'm always ready.
Let's see.
Born ready. Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yemisi Oluwole and I film about language, lifestyle and my real life experiences. So I'm here with my friend. Let me introduce himself to us.
My name is Orishagumi More.
Okay.
I've been based in the south of France for 8 years. I recently moved to Paris 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I studied economics management as an undergrad. And for my master's program, I did digital strategy. Then I started my company, and then I got recruited by a cybersecurity firm called Cloudflare. And yeah.
So welcome Orisha to my YouTube channel. Orisha is going to be filming with me today, and we're going to be responding to some questions because I got a couple of questions for some people about like studying in France, you know, accommodation, internship, everything. I'm going to respond to everything in this video. And make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not yet subscribed. Like this video, share to your friends, and so that they can also like gain something.
If you have any questions, you can comment
below,
and we'll have a little surprise for you afterwards.
Okay, so yeah, let's just get into the video. So we're going to start with the first question.
We have all the questions here.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Hello Yemisi, how you doing? So I've been trying to reach you for a long time now, and I don't know if this one will go through. I came across your page last year. I wanted to get along. Actually, I recently got admitted to Masters in Communications et Management à l'International at the Université of Grenoble.
Yeah. To
start in September, and I'm really inquisitive to know how your experience was from finding an apartment, resumption studies, internships, etc. Could you please help me out? I'll be willing to hear from you. Thanks.
Okay.
So first things first, congratulations on your admission.
Yeah, congratulations to you. I don't know who the person is, but
yeah, her name is anyways, she wants to know about your experience, how your experience was from finding an apartment. So how was your experience finding an apartment?
Okay, for me, University of Grenoble, I think before even starting your studies, you would already get like information from the school about accommodation and stuff. So normally before I started in UGA, they sent me links of different accommodations and stuff. So I chose Cruise. So Cruise is like a body where, you know, it's a body that
helps
that helps students like get accommodation and stuff. So I applied, and you have like different choices. You have like studio options depending on your budget. You can actually get like any accommodation of your choice. So for example, me, I got residence or accommodation of 12 meters square, which was pretty much comfortable because I was a student. So there are different ones. They have like 15 meters square, they have like 9 meters square, depending on what you want. So you can actually make your choice, and normally the time for processing is like a month. So within a month, you're going to get a response about your accommodation details, and I think that's pretty much it for the apartment.
Yeah. So she wants to know about resumption.
Resumption, like they already give a date for resumption before you come now.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Your studies, what did you study?
The same course she did.
Okay.
I think she said she got a master's admission in communication and management. Yeah, so I think studies generally is pretty much intensive in UGA because like the Institute of Communication and Media is like not in the not in the main campus. It's like outside campus, so it's like 30 minutes from like the main student residence. So I would say that it was pretty much interesting because like you get to meet new people and you get to learn a lot of things. So I think the studies generally was good, but it was very, very intensive. And then internships, like, is still the same thing. Search for internships before you know, like if they say, like for example for the master's degree, there's like you have to do like 2 internships before you graduate. You have to do one in your first year and one in your second year. The one in first year is like 3 months, and the one in second year is 6 months. That's like a stage de fin d'études. That's like end of your year internship. So you have to like start looking for internship before you end your masters. So I think that's pretty much it. Do you have anything to say?
Well, for studies, I studied in Nice, Côte d'Azur, and got admission straight out of high school.
Yeah.
Since I went to a lycée français in Lagos, we automatically had admissions to faculties here in France. So I picked Nice, and it was pretty straightforward. Came here, loved it, finished third undergrad, masters, and then
How was your studies and internship?
It was nice. Internship was really easy to find. I didn't do an internship. I did an apprenticeship program for a year during my master's program.
What's the difference between, some people may be asking, like, what's the difference between apprenticeship and internship?
Nice one. Internship, 3 months. They're not obliged to. They can if they want. 6 months. 6 months they have to pay you.
Yeah.
And apprenticeship program is for a year. You cannot do an apprenticeship program for 3 months. It's 1 year. And it's when you go to school and also work. So you do 3 days in school, or 3 days at work, and 2 days in school, or 2 days at work. So it depends on what your program entails, and then you get paid. You get paid, pretty decent amount, the minimum wage, as you're going to school. So that's nice.
What of your finding apartments in Nice? Like just for those that are not going to go to Grenoble, maybe they are planning to go to Nice.
Sure. So finding an apartment, what I did first of all was that I stayed at a friend's house. So I had someone that was there, and his room is flat. So I lodged with him. I used that to get my visa. So once I came, he was staying with his girlfriend, and I just felt that it wasn't really comfortable. So in the same residence, I got a flat. It was really, really, really easy. They just asked for 2 to 3 months of your rent to pay up front or as deposit, and then guarantor. That's it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So I think we've covered
the first question.
First set of questions. Now we'll go to
the second one.
Okay, so second question. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for your informative videos you put out there. Please, I would like to know if it matters that I finish 3rd class before applying for a master's program, or do I have to take a postgraduate diploma or take a BSc again? When is it advisable to apply? I would appreciate your advice. So,
I think you should answer that one.
All right.
Does it matter if somebody finished with a 3rd class before applying for master's degree?
No, it doesn't really matter. It all depends on your school. It depends on your school. It depends also on your profile.
Right.
What do you like? How talented are you? What's your value add? What's your value bring? How different? What makes you different from other people?
Right.
And based on all of those things, the people who examine the different profiles are able to either pick you or not. I got a 3rd class when I was in high school. And with that I was still able to get into a.
You know why I'm laughing?
What?
Okay, you got a 3rd class from where?
Lycée Français Louis Pasteur.
But you guys, this guy, when you look at him, like when he says I got a 3rd class, it's like I cannot believe that he got a 3rd class. Because I mean, he's very, very talented.
Yeah, I got 3rd class.
Okay, continue your story. Let them hear.
Yeah, I got very, very bad grade.
That was in the past, but not now, not anymore.
A couple of years ago.
Okay. Okay.
And with that, I was still able to enter one of the most prestigious schools here in France. So of course you can get 3rd class and also get accepted into a master's program.
Right.
Yeah.
But like for those école, is it école? No, grande école. École, all those écoles, India, so école, I don't know. Like, do they accept 3rd class students?
Depends. That's why I say it depends on the school, because an average can be 3rd class is, as we said, is average.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So some schools can have that. Yeah, passable. Yes, some schools can have their 3rd class set to let's say 10 over 20 or 50 over 100. Yeah.
Okay.
But some can have their the 3rd class set to minimum 12 over 20 or let's say 7 or 60 65 over 100.
Right.
So it depends on the school.
Okay.
So the school I applied for, they had their 3rd class set to 10, and I got 9 point something over 20, and then moved it to 10. And that's how I could get into the school.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think it really like applies, because normally, like, I think that when somebody wants to apply to a school in France, like every course has like a requirement. So I think anybody that wants to apply, I think first of all, the first thing you should do is to look at the admission requirements for the course you're choosing. Like, there are some schools that would require like higher grades, and there are some that they don't even really care about the grades. So the main thing is for you to just check the admission requirements on the school's websites. I would say that there are even some that, like, some people want to study in English, you know, and there are some people that I don't know if they need IELTS and all those stuff. Like, do they need this? Like, if you're studying English,
to go to UK you need it, but to come here
in France,
you just need your the other one that did.
Which one is that?
It's not IELTS. Yes, the other one.
TOEFL. TOEFL.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anytime.
Okay. Because for me, I think that some people in this place, there are some schools that don't really need like you to prove that you have IELTS or whatever. All you have to do is just to prove that maybe you've studied in an Anglophone country, or you've done your past studies maybe for the past 5 years or 6 years, you know, in English before coming to study in France. They just want to see that proof. And there are some that they will even require more. So just look at the admission requirements for your course, which course you want to study, and just follow the steps, and yeah, you'll be good.
Yeah.
So the third question now.
Hello, Yemisi. So I want to apply for my master's in France, but something is confusing about ECTS. I don't know how to do the conversion using Nigerian credit units. Yeah.
How do you want to respond to that? Okay, ECTS, what's the full meaning? We don't even know the full meaning.
I've forgotten the full meaning.
Okay, this question is knocking me out of my
head. Those credits that you get in your WIEC.
Okay.
And then we, in the French system, we get in our baccalaureate.
Okay.
And based on that, schools in Europe or outside Europe can see if you hit targets. So that means if you are eligible to get accepted into the school or not. So it's an international scoring method.
Okay.
You know, so the question here is, so I want to apply for masters in France, but something is confusing about ECTS. I don't know how to do the conversion using the Nigerian credit units.
Okay.
That you need to just directly ask the school. Just ask the school, send in your grades, because you can get accepted with your Nigerian diploma.
Let's not specify to Nigeria, because I don't know if only Nigeria.
Exactly. Sorry. Yeah. So with your African.
Yeah, maybe like anywhere.
With your anywhere type of grade.
Yeah, just tell them, man.
In France. So yeah, just reach out to your school. They should know how to do the conversion, and it's pretty straightforward.
But for the Nigerian credit units, I know that, like we said before, there's like, you know, first class maybe like 4.5 to 5.0. There's second class lower. There's second class upper. There's third class. So here is like different. So it's like maybe 16 and above is like, you know, the first class. So those gradings are kind of like almost the same, but I mean they're similar. But the best thing is for you to send your grades to the school you're applying to, so that they can, you know, check it out and see if, you know, it works or not. So yeah.
So fourth question.
Is it fourth question now?
Yeah.
Okay, fourth question, guys.
Coucou ma soeur, is NCE in French accepted to get a bachelor's degree in France?
NCE.
What was that?
Okay, NCE. I don't know. I can't remember now the full meaning of NCE, but I think NCE is a certificate gotten from probably like a college of technology.
Yeah, you explained that the other time.
Yeah, college of technology. So if this person has an NCE in French language, I think the equivalent of NCE, I don't know if it's equivalent to A-levels. I'm not really sure. You know A-levels now? You know A-levels? Do you think it's equivalent?
I don't even know what NCE was, so I don't know if it's equivalent. I don't know.
So but, like, if this person has NC in French,
that means the person can speak French. The person has at minimum at B2,
maybe
B2,
but I don't
or
know.
A2 minimum.
Maybe, but I think if you have an NC in French, you can actually go for a bachelor's degree. But I think the requirements for a bachelor's degree, to study a bachelor's degree in France, this may not be required. NC, I don't think so.
And
if you are going into a university.
If you're into university, you just need your baccalaureate or your WAEC.
Yeah, you just need your WAEC results from your high school, your secondary school.
Yeah.
Because this NCE is like
it's
after secondary school and is a grade higher.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need this one to.
No, you just apply with your WAEC.
Yeah.
Apply with your high school degree.
And if you're actually studying French in your bachelor's degree, if French language is your course, like your choice, I think all you have to need is to maybe prove that you can speak French and write French and you understand French. I think they would have like a requirement for maybe DAF or something like that. But I don't know about NC. But yeah. But I think so far you can speak French. You're good to go.
Yeah, of course.
Which question are we on now?
Fourth, fifth.
Fifth?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, fifth question.
Simon?
Yeah. So
Hello, Yamisi. Can one work to fund my accommodation and feeding? I am a Solidity developer, blockchain developer. Will I need to speak French for a job with this skill? What is the likelihood of getting a job after studying in France? I am interested in a master's in artificial intelligence. How difficult is it getting admission into the public institution in France? I have a BSc statistics and MSc computational statistics, both done in Nigeria. Thanks a bunch in advance for your response.
I think Orisha will answer that one. Orisha,
all right,
back to you.
Let's go. So the first question, he has 10 or 11 questions in one question. So the first one, can one work to fund my accommodation and feeding? Yes, you can. It's not advisable, but yes, you can. If you're super smart, you can ace everything. But for average people, it's a bit difficult to concentrate doing your work and also concentrate going to school, concentrate studying for your exams, and then concentrate to pass the exam. If you're coming here because you want to either get a degree.
Yeah.
So concentrate on that first and then get a job. So I'll highly recommend that you either work for a year, save up, sacrifice, come here, do your undergrad, let's say for 1 year or 2 years, and then find another job using the new degree that you've gotten.
Right.
So with that, you're winning on both sides.
Right.
Yeah. Do you want to add anything?
I think I'm in sync with your response.
Yeah, you're in sync. Love it. All right. So second question of this young man: will I need to speak French to get a job in Solidity, to be a Solidity developer? You don't need to speak French. So the fact that you have a technical skill makes you stand out. So language is no longer a barrier. Language is something that they can push to the side, because of this knowledge that you have.
Right.
Not everyone is a Solidity developer. So no, you don't need to speak French, although I will also advise that it's not because you don't need to speak French that you
don't
shouldn't learn French.
Yeah.
You should try to learn French to help you with
your day-to-day activities.
Your day-to-day activities, also to make friends, because
and
making friends, integration, very, very important things that are not necessarily academic, but to live, you need them. So yeah. What is the likelihood of getting a job after studying in France? Do you want to go for that one?
What's the likelihood of getting a job after studying in France? Man, there are two perspectives. I'm going to give my perspective and he's going to give his own perspective, So for me, I think it really depends on what you studied in school. For me, I think that people that are in all this tech, all these software dev, all those things, like I think they get jobs faster. And especially if you speak English and French, like if you're bilingual, you have like higher chances of getting a job faster than somebody that has just one language. If you speak like even 3 or 4 languages, that's even going to make you stand out more. And if you can also prove those skills, like during your interview, like there's some jobs that they will tell you that you need English and French. I mean, they will definitely call you for those type of interviews. So like possibility of getting job after your studies, I think it depends on also your how will I say, your willingness or your hard work in putting out your applications. And some people, like for me, from my own experience, so I feel like it may take a while, like weeks or months, maybe like a month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on how serious you are with your applications, how serious you are with your interviews. If you're having like maybe 2 interviews per month, I think that's like a good sign that you're on the right track. And you also have to review your past interviews and see what you did wrong or what you did right, to be able to, like, if you're not accepted for like your first interview and stuff. So try to always be better in your next interview, and I think that within like a few months or a few weeks you can definitely land your job, like after your studies. So I don't think it's really, really hard to get a job in France. What do you think? From the brain. Oh yeah, tell us.
Well, it's everyone and your luck.
Luck, right?
Yeah, everyone and their
And
faith.
God too.
Yeah, because one person.
If they apply for 1 year.
Yeah, I've heard so many stories. A story of some dude that sent over hundreds of applications, and it took him a while to get a job. And me on my end, I wasn't even looking for a job.
The job came to you.
The job came to me.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank God. That's really why I said it really depends on just yourself and your faith and all of that. So, but once you're done with undergrad here or masters, France gives you 1 year to
search for a job.
To search for a job, either search for a job or start your company.
Yeah.
So with that, you have the time.
A whole year.
You have let's say 1 month, 2 months to just chill, rest.
Yeah.
And then start 8 months or 9. Yeah, 10 months. 10 months to start searching for a job, and really, if you search, you will find.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There are so many opportunities everywhere. I think there are even remote jobs nowadays. Like you don't even have to like have a job in France. You can have a job anywhere in Europe, and if you are willing to move out of France after your job search year, you can also move. Like there are other European countries around, so it depends on your choice. But I think it's pretty much easy to get a job.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So, I am interested in masters in artificial intelligence. How difficult is it getting admission into the public institution in France?
Public institutions.
Yeah, so that's what I did.
Okay.
Well, it's not difficult at all. You just need to get minimum 10 over 20, so minimum 3rd class. From what this person has said, I don't think the person has a 3rd class. I think the person has higher than a 3rd class.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not that hard. You just need to apply, send your different grades, your different certificates, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's all. That's all for this question.
Okay, so the next question now.
All right. So hello, Joy. Happy to write to you. I'm trying to transition into the business field. I did a master's program in management engineering with the major in management consulting at Audencia Business School, Nantes, France. Do I have an opportunity for product design, UX, UI role? I'm a fast learner and I'm familiar with Figma. You always have an opportunity in any field. If you're familiar with Figma, show us that you're familiar with Figma. Show us what you've done. Show us what you've done with UI, UX. Have you created anything? If you have templates, and show it.
Yeah.
And based on that, you can land your job. You can land anything you want. We live in a digital era, so it's not about what you studied anymore. It's about what you can do. What you can do.
What you can bring to the table.
Exactly. What you can show me. Show me. Don't just tell me that you did that at school. Show me what you've done. And based on that, we can judge you. So yeah, of course, go for it.
Okay, I hope that answers the question. So we're going to go to the last question now. Last but not the least.
You've said last question twice. Alright, so let's go for it.
Don't say the person's name.
Hi, my name is... I got your Instagram from one of your YouTube videos that I watched. If you don't mind. If you don't mind. Oh, no, wow, okay. I would like to get some information from you. I just got my visa to move to France in 4 weeks from now. I don't know if you stay in Paris, but my major concern is about getting accommodation in Paris. how do you guys get a decent space for students? Secondly, after graduation, what's the duration of their post-study? Thanks. I think we should tell Adeleke to watch this video and she'll get her answers.
Right, from the beginning, we already answered questions about accommodation in Paris. Maybe accommodation in Paris may be a bit different from Nice and
True. In Paris, you have something called PAP. It's peer-to-peer accommodation.
Yeah.
So you are in contact directly with the landlord or landlady, rather than going through either the CUS or going through a third party or an agency.
Okay.
So this is really is cheaper, and it's called pap.com. pap.com.
Or Cruise or Locavis, like there are so many of them. So yeah.
And then the next one is this: how do you guys get decent space? Okay, no, we've replied this. The next one is, what's the duration of the post study?
By post study, I'm believing maybe he's talking about like PhD.
Oh, okay. I thought that it was after you're done studying.
Because it didn't say anything about
after graduation. What's the duration of the post study?
Maybe postgraduate. Is it?
Okay, we can reply. We can answer both.
Okay.
So we can do post study and how long does it take for you to? How long do they give you to land your first job?
Okay.
So as we replied before, they give you 1 year.
Yeah.
They give you this. You go from once you enter France, they give you this thing called your student residency, your residence permit, and then once you're done, once you've graduated, they give you something called APS. I think you said that's changed name.
RECE. That's Recherche d'Emploi et Création d'Entreprise.
Exactly, Recherche d'Emploi, which means you're looking for a job,
or you want to create a company.
You want to create a company.
Yeah.
They give you this for 1 year. And post study, if you're talking about PhD normally is 3 years.
I think 3 years, yes.
Yeah. That's it.
But in other countries, funny enough, I think PhD is like 5 years.
Because here they count it with your But
in France it's different. Like PhD is 3 years, and that blew my mind when I found out. Didn't you know that it was 5 years in other countries? It's 5 years. So if you go to the US, PhD is 5 years.
Yeah, but at the same time, our high school is much more longer than the high school.
Normal
in the US.
high school.
Yes.
How many years?
High school in France is 7 years.
7?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's longer than in Nigeria, for example.
Wow.
It's longer than in the UK.
Wow. I see.
So that's why our undergrad is 3 years.
Okay.
Our masters, however, is 2 years.
Yeah, and there's some that are 1 year.
There's some that are 1 year.
Okay.
But the ones that are 1 year, they're for private schools.
Okay.
Public institutions, 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
And then PhD 3 years.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we have pretty much answered all the questions. So if you have any other questions relating to maybe studying in France or maybe getting a job in France, please drop your questions below.
Down below.
Yeah, I'll be very happy to respond to your questions. And if you found anything in this video that you could relate to, let us know in the comments. Do you have anything to say, Richard, about people that are coming to France?
Yeah, if you're coming to France, just come. You're gonna love it. That's it.
That's all you have to say.
Yeah. Well, France is chill,
Yeah.
And
okay, let me ask you like a very quick how do I say, rapid response question. So like, how has your experience been in France so far? Like for the past
marvelous. I've been here for 8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
Okay.
It's been
So
nice,
give us one example of your something that's boom in your mind.
All right. So after I finished school and I landed this job,
okay,
they gave me something called the Passeport Talent. It's a passport for talent.
Yeah.
And with this, instead of getting a 1 year residence permit, you automatically get a 4 years residence permit.
Right.
It also has other perks. I don't know them for now. I need to search them.
Because if you don't check, nobody will tell you.
Exactly.
You have to find out by yourself.
Exactly. But at least now you know that for 4 years you don't have to
do all the renouvellement.
Yeah, because going to this place called the prefecture to get your residence permit can be hectic.
Yeah.
You do it every year, and if you're doing a master's program for 2 years, okay, they give you a residence permit for 2 years. If you're doing it for 1 year, they give you for 1 year. But you just know that you're undergrad, you have to go there every single year.
Right.
So having a card that is
for 4 years,
for 4 years straight, it helps, you know.
Yeah.
And apart from that, France giving you this ability to look for a job in 1 year is also good, because you have rest of mind. You can go back to your home country to just rest a bit, come back here and look for a job, and you don't need to pay ridiculous amount, because in the UK before Brexit, once you're done with school, you go back.
Yeah, but now it's now 2 years.
Right now it's 2 years, but you pay for it.
Wow.
You pay either 1K or 2 grand.
Wow.
In France, you
pay for it.
You pay for the timbre. The timbre is your
75 euros. Or
something. Yeah, 75 euros. You know, and then that's all.
Yeah.
And one other thing I like is the public school. Public schools here is literally free. Public schools in the UK, you pay 20K, 30K, you know, 30,000 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think France is a good place to study. Like, it's good for student life. I think you learn a lot, like based on the culture, the language. There are so many perks like coming to France. So I think I would urge you, like, if you have any friend looking for a country to go to do their masters, please tell them to come to France. I'm not advertising.
Even though the language can be a bit difficult, I guess.
Yeah, it can be very difficult sometimes at the beginning.
Yeah.
But with time, you get used to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not in the right place to talk about language being difficult. I think you should be.
No.
No? Okay. Then, no, we're not in the right place to talk about that. But I know people that have learned French in 6 months and they speak very good. Well. So it's doable.
Yeah, so we've come to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, please subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed.
If you have any questions, drop them down below.
Yeah.
And the surprise that we spoke to them in the beginning, what's the surprise about?
If they drop their questions now, we'll respond to it.
Alright.
What surprise are you expecting?
Maybe you can tell one person that if we can select and the person can do a video with us next time.
They'll come from Nigeria to come to France.
We have some questions.
You have money for flights.
We have some questions from France. People that went to Nantes. This young lady.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's
Paris,
true.
Or someone that's already staying in Paris.
That's true.
Yeah,
we can link up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and yeah, we are done.
Alright.
Orisha in the building.
Yo.
Yeah.
So
I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
Au revoir.